Good evening, or still day, Rethink Your Health podcast listeners and viewers and fans. It has been so exciting to see over the past few months the incredible growth of this new brand, Rethink Your Health. It is, a journey always when you're going through life and you're facing disease in yourself and in others, protecting wellness of our parents, of our children. And it really just seems that there's information overload. And myself and a colleague, Pamela Rollins, decided, you know what, let's weed through so much of this and let's launch, and that will be in just the next few days, a website that allows you to go to and find the best and brightest people, podcasts, books, products, services, travel, experiences that help you to rethink your health and those you love. Because really, growth is always just about the revisioning, the re-envisioning of what we believe. That's what science does, right? And we learn every single day new approaches to science. Actually, late last night, I was listening to a Harvard geneticist talk about the fountain of youth and this thing called NADs, and actually getting your cells to talk to your brain and basically biologically aging backwards. If you go to our Facebook, Rethink Your Health, you'll see the video I posted about it, and it's really amazing. So every day we rethink our health, and sometimes we do pretty big things in life that force us to rethink our health. Sometimes it's about undergoing cancer treatment, as I did, or moving to a new city, or having, facing COVID. But sometimes it's actually involving a physical move to actually build a new dream, to actually leave one field of transportation and enter another wow field of health and wellness globally. And today I've asked a dear friend, a colleague, a client, a business partner, an amazing entrepreneur to join us. Marvin Walker, it's late there, but he's live from Accra, Ghana, and I'm going to bring him up on the screen right now. Marvin!
Hey, Tanya. Hello, everyone.
Hey, what time is it there?
Right now, it's 10:09 p.m.
Okay, that's not too bad because we usually do our show at 9 Eastern Standard Time. So this is like a role reversal. Listen, I
Okay.
really want to ask you to introduce yourself and introduce the crazy life experience that brought you to this amazing opportunity in place. I know you were at the top of the food chain in the music industry. I know. Tell me a little bit, Marvin, about the path. You are a true entrepreneur. Before we get too far, congratulations are in order. Marvin was only one of 10 Black entrepreneurs in the United States. I'm going to say that again, one of only 10 Black entrepreneurs in the United States that was selected to be a part of incubation, an incubator, really an investment group of bankers who want to invest in brilliant new and upcoming entrepreneurs and their ideas. And Marvin was selected as one of those businesses and one of those entrepreneurs. It is managed by the African Diaspora Network, and it is funded by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So and it's just so exciting. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, it's good to see Silicon Valley finally putting their money where their mouth is and investing in minority-owned businesses. So I was
Mhm.
very honored to, be selected, like you said, one of 10 companies in the United States. So I was very excited about that.
Yeah, great
But
stuff.
like you said, I'll introduce myself and how I got here in Ghana. So, I was born in South America, in Guyana, and I moved to America when I was 5 years old. So I'm going to be a bit long-winded, but I'm going to tell the story because it's serendipitous how I'm here, and I'm giving people the opportunity that my mom was given. So my mom went to America in the 70s, and I was a young boy, and she was doing home care service and CNA work. And then she brought us all to America. And I grew up in America. I first moved to Brooklyn, did most of my growing up in the Bronx, went to middle school, high school. And then when I left high school, I moved to the DMV area, Arlington, Virginia, and I finished high school there. And then I ended up joining the Marine Corps. And I went to the Marine Corps for 4 years and left the Marines, came out, and I always had a passion for music, so I got into the music industry up until 1998 when the music industry and every industry went bust because of the housing bubble that burst, right? So I had came from an industry where I was living pretty lavish and making good money, well, free money for writing songs for some of the biggest artists in the music game and licensing those songs to film and television. So my songs have been featured in movies like Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins, In the Mix with Usher. We've written for Alicia Keys, Keisha Cole, Mary J. Blige, and a host of others. Nominated for a few Grammys, won some. So it's an amazing thing. And then everything just fell apart because the real estate bubble in 2008, 2009, and I was trying to figure out my next move. So I was reading a book that I always reread and I love to read. It's called The Millionaire Mind by Thomas Stanley and William Danko. And that book actually, identified how you could not only be successful, but maintain your success, right? How millionaires became millionaires, but most importantly, how they stayed millionaires. And when it came to talking about the businesses that they did, there was 3 businesses that they mentioned. They said, either you're the first in the industry, they said, and when you're first, there's perks that come with it. So that's why when everybody drinks a soda, they say, I'm drinking a Coke, because Coke was the first, right? And I didn't have that. When anybody uses tape, they say it's Scotch tape. But then they said, or either you're an outlier, you outperform anybody else in a certain industry. And I didn't have that. I wasn't that. But they said something that fit me. They said, or you function in an industry that whether the economy is doing good or bad, these industries are thriving. And one of the industries that they mentioned was transportation and logistics. They said, look around that room. Everything in that room came on a truck, a plane, train, or a boat. And I said, yeah, that makes sense. And so I got into medical logistics. I started doing regular courier work and I was transporting packages, a TV, a mattress, furniture. But one time or several times I got packages that was like a knee replacement, a hip replacement for this company called Stryker, or some blood for the American Red Cross. And these were time-sensitive products. And I realized that the payout on those were a lot greater than the regular payout for transporting a package. And so I went and purchased a courier van and started my business and started doing that, and then started buying more vehicles. But I started focusing specifically in medical transportation, whether it was transporting patients to their appointments or whether it was taking medical supplies, because it paid greater.
So you came in, you just, excuse me for interrupting, but you came into the field of wellness as a logistics guy because it made sense, because it wasn't going to go away, not because your heart wanted to help thousands of people. We're going to get to what you're doing.
But you're telling the truth. Yeah, it wasn't because my heart wanted to do it. It's because I wanted to make money and I wanted to live a sustained lifestyle. And I saw that this industry or this space paid really well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you came in, you blew that up. You ended up kind of, one of the wonderful things that we need to touch upon is your damn perseverance. And we know that healthy entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs that really make it win and lose major times over and over. And, at some point, they win so big that all of their losses are sustainable, right? So that's a really cool motto. And I see you moving. I know that there was some issues with Amazon and them actually kind of lifting your transportation model and taking it away from the medical industry and putting it into the Amazon delivery. And that just put you to a place where, like, oh my gosh, somebody just stole the rug out from under me. What am I going to do now? So I want you to stop for a minute and stop being Marvin the entrepreneur and be Marvin, the amazing man who looks a lot younger than he is. And tell me how you felt physically. Tell me what was going on.
Well, when that happened, I wanted to die, right? Because for the first time I created something and I saw, our people, right? So I built it to empower, especially minorities who were working in the logistics business, and they were supporting and they were buying into my business model and my idea. So when I got that contract with Amazon, it was worth several millions of dollars, and we're in, multiple markets with them. And then they saw what I was doing. They said, "Hey, we like this. This is better for us than it is for him." But I got a call one morning, and everybody was like, "Hey, Marvin, are you looking at the news? Did you see what Amazon is doing? It looks exactly like your business." And that's what it was. And everything fell apart. I was depressed. I was down. I didn't want to get up because it was like I won, and then this thing happened. So it had me real down.
And you took a lot of people, a lot of folks, Black people who had not had these kind of huge opportunities before, and brought them to a sense of pride, right? And made them independent entrepreneurs, and that all collapsed. And I know you, Marvin, you have an amazing sense of accountability, right? I want to stop for a moment because I know I just had a text and said, this is key to health. What is key to health is the sense that you can find hope in the darkest and most desperate circumstances, that you can say, look, they just stole my idea. I've just lost $18 million. I have nowhere to turn. Everyone is mocking me. I just want to die. And you can take the Bed Bath & Beyond route and jump out your window, or you can move to Ghana.
Yeah.
Talk to me, love. What happened?
You say it like I wanted to move to Ghana. When I got here, I liked it. But it wasn't something that I initially planned. What happened was my operations manager kept saying, "Hey, Marvin, you need to dust yourself off and go to Ghana." And I said, "Bro, I ain't never been to Africa. I don't know anybody in Africa. Why am I going there?" And I'm at my lowest point. So I'm like, I'm not going to Africa where I know nobody to start over. And he was like, "Listen, your technology would do great there. They're forward thinking." And that's kind of how I got here. One of the contractors, Monica, because I lost everything. I lost my house. I got evicted. And one of my contractors who was working at the Amazon sort center and saw the money that, I helped them make, she said, "Listen, I'm not going to let you lose." So she paid for my plane ticket. Her and my operations manager, like, they colluded to get me to come to Africa, and I wasn't coming. And then I got here, and the first thing for me was it looked nothing like what I was programmed to think Africa would look like, right? I thought I was going to land on a dirt, landing strip, and, I would see people in the Shaka Zulu kente cloth riding, giraffes and whatnot. And I hate to say that, I sound so ignorant, but that's what I thought. And when I got out of the airplane and I went into the Kotoka International Airport, it looked just like, Charlotte's airport or something like that. And I was totally wild. And, but that's how I got here. People who saw what happened was there, said, look, like, they gave me the push that I needed because I was at my lowest and I didn't want to come. And in hindsight, right, at that point, it was the lowest. But as I look back now, and, Steve Jobs says you can't connect the dots looking forward. You have to connect them looking backwards. The universe allowed that situation to happen, because had that Amazon contract continued and I was making the millions of dollars per month that I was supposed to be making, nobody could have got me to come to Africa. I wouldn't have came. But because of that, I had no other choice. My back was against the wall, and I wanted to make the people who believed in me and came on board with me, I wanted to make them proud. So I came out to Africa to take advantage of the opportunities that I was offered.
And I want to stop and underscore two beautiful points that you're making. Health and wellness. And we know now more than ever that mental health and physical health are inseparable. Yep. You could go to the gym every day and just drop over from mental stress and mental disease. Health and wellness is so much about dusting yourself off. You use those words. And moving on, dusting yourself off and moving on. And there are two concepts. One is just to have the balls to do it, to have the courage to say, God doesn't end my story here, right? And then the second is the support. Building a support network in your health and in your wealth is so critical. Having those angels, like the person at Amazon saying, Here, Marv, I'm buying you a ticket. You're out. You come and take me out to dinner when things are really popping for you. My gosh, I know that feeling, right? I remember being in so much pain physically with MS and just being at the end of my rope saying, you know what, maybe it's time to do the disability gig. And all of a sudden, I had people pop up to help me, right? And to restore the endorphins by telling me, man, you are amazing. You're resilient. And thank you, Casey. That's the word. You're resilient. Get up. And you know what happened? Because of their love and support, and sometimes their writing of checks, they're supporting my comeback, my pain went away. I still have the same bulging disc in my back. I still have osteoarthritis in my knees, but the pain is like nothing. It's like so nominal. And why? Because it's the way we are resilient, the way we hold our minds together, and what we do. This leads me to a direct question about your life in Ghana. I have to give me a second here. I've got to put this up on screen because it's so adorable. Hold on. Guys, be patient with me. It's too early for me to function. Hold on. No, I don't want a video file. Well, I wonder if this will, can you guys see this?
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for the love. If you're new to the channel, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you can be notified when we drop new videos. Today we're in Nsuatre, a small village about 15 minutes outside of Sunyani, and we're going to be doing our Share the Care pop-up health screening. That's right, y'all. We're going to be giving as many people as we can free health screens where we're taking their blood pressure, their blood sugar, their weight, and giving them that information so that they can know how to proceed with their health. Today, Share the Care is sponsored and made possible by Dr. Uchenna Ijaku. He's our territory partner in the Beaumont, Texas area. So Dr. Ijaku, thank you for making this possible. Dr. Ijaku is a territory partner and licensee of the daycare platform for the Beaumont, Texas area in the United States. And he has plans to return back to the continent, and he wants to make sure he does it in a sustainable way. So the daycare platform helps him launch a medical staffing and transport business in Beaumont, Texas, so that when he comes back to the continent, he's enjoying the benefits of USD and not just the GHC.
For the sake of time, I'm going to jump it a little bit
Yeah.
forward. But
Okay,
it's
that's
been
fine.
amazing. I just want to get you at the end here. There we go.
There you have it, guys. We just wrapped up our health screening, and we just helped 200 plus people in the N2 community to get their blood screens, their weight, their blood sugar checked, so that they can know what the steps they need to take to maintain a healthy lifestyle. If you would like to sponsor Share the Care and help make access to health screenings in somebody's village, or even your village if you're in the diaspora, just drop us a message in the comment section so we can pop up on them and give them their vitals and let them know how healthy they are or how unhealthy they are so that they can take the right steps. There are many ways that you could sponsor Share the Care campaign. You could donate through PayPal, you could hit us up on our Cash App, or you can contribute through our partner, Connected to the Culture, which is our 501c3 sponsor, as we provide access to health care on the continent as a whole. And the benefit of that, it's tax deductible. So if you want to help us share the care throughout the continent, again, drop that comment in the section, let us know I care, and then we're going to reach out to you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I got to stop right there and say, so what happened to the Marvin that was chasing medical transportation money?
Well, you know what? It was kind of slow here in Ghana, right? And because the people, they make on average about 650 CDs a month. That's like 65 US dollars. So because I was having success with people licensing my technology back in the States, I figured, hey, I'm not there. I developed this tech. I own it. Why not empower people so that they could deploy this service? So what I started doing, I said, hey, when people license it, I take a percentage of that license fee, and then I go and buy all these medical supplies, and I take my team and we go into a village, and we said, listen, the best way to get is to give. So let's give people access to these vitals that, you know, we take for granted. We like a simple scale to get their weight, they can't afford. So we've saved so many people that have high blood pressure or low blood pressure. We have to rush them to the hospital. Like even that day, we took one lady, her blood pressure was so high, they was like, if you don't get her to the hospital, it's not going to be good. So to be able to do that, it gives a sense of purpose with what I'm doing business-wise. So I stopped chasing the, you know, the business, and I just started giving, and then the business started coming because of that. So it's crazy.
It is crazy. And I want everybody who's listening to understand that Marvin's company is called Daycare Health. And he started out providing just on your phone, just like Uber, you know, 3 out of 5 people over 55 have not used Lyft or Uber because they're nervous about it. But yet they're trapped in their home, they miss appointments. So Marvin's app allows people to order transportation delivered by a certified nursing assistant in the US, and also allows them to order home health. It is an amazing concept, and that's why, of course, this Bill and Melinda Gates project selected him. But he took it, and here in the United States, it's spreading to how many cities so far?
Right now, we're in about 18 cities in the U.S., and we have territory partners in 18 cities. So,
and that's growing, right?
Yes.
And that will become a national brand called DKH, Daycare Health. But at the same time, your base of operations in Accra, Ghana, has become a bit of a combination of true humanitarian aid and expat diaspora business.
Yes.
How do you feel?
Well, you know what? Moving back to the continent is not easy, right? So I just wanted to come up with, you know, solutions to the challenges that we in the diaspora face when we move back to the continent. And the biggest concern for me, why I was a little bit reluctant too, was healthcare. I heard, like, you know, people don't live long in Africa. So when I came here, I said, that's what I wanted to do. So I started to tackle those problems. And, you know, I feel good about it because, again, working and making money is good, but when you're working, making money, and you have purpose and you feel good about it, you know, the feeling that you get from saving people's lives and giving them access to care. Like you saw the lady saying, we wish you'd come back every month so that we could stay healthy. Like that felt good. Like I saw my grandmother, my great aunt, I saw all of those people, you know, in them, and I felt good about what I was doing, and it really
Man, we need this model in the U.S. You know, we have some. I know you have some nurse practitioners that are becoming territory partners that are bringing this, what I would call a a chronic care management model, right?
Yeah.
But let's get down to this. Living in Africa now, what, 3 years?
Going on 4, 3 3/4, going on 4.
Okay. How is healthcare in Africa? What's missing?
So much, right? But one thing I do respect is that Ghana is moving in the right direction, right? But that's why they need us from the diaspora, right? Because we have, foresight. We come from a developed place that we've seen how it needs to be done, and then we could come and implement that. But one of the things that they need is a integrated healthcare system, right? Like if you get
But so
sick,
do we.
right, well, yeah. But here, if you get sick and they pick you up in an ambulance, they're driving around to ambulance to find a bed with you in the back, dying of a stroke or heart attack. And they don't know prior to getting to the hospital if there's a bed waiting for you. So they'll drive to every single hospital. That's why I started the daycare medical centers, right? So that we could bring patients there, stabilize them, and then find a facility that has a bed and take them there. But also, it's why we provide care at home services, because everyone has a bed in their home. So for non-emergency cases, we send our nurses to their homes. Also in Ghana, they only had, when I came, 16 working ambulances to cater to the need of 32 million people, right? So I just said, hey, why don't you use an Uber-like model? And there's 40,000 unemployed nurses in Ghana because there's not enough medical facilities for them to go work at. So I just took those unemployed nurses, right, a valuable resource because they have the foundational skills, and then had my Uber drivers pick those who don't drive up and take them to patients' homes so that they can provide care. So
Wow.
it just needs thinking human beings, right, with solutions that could improve, what's happening here.
And so it's interesting. Yes, we're talking about healthcare. And, one of the things that we're probably really talking about is sick care, right? So when you're sick in Ghana or most of the world, it's really hard to get someplace, to get care, to afford it, and then to get the care afterwards to sustain your health. What about the wellness model? I see you going out there and doing wellness screens, which are amazing and make a huge difference in people's lives, that kind of monitoring of their vitals. We are learning here in the US that if we could just get everybody to monitor their vitals, overall health improves at any age. So that's a part of your wellness model. But what have you learned? I know you go out there and do this yourself. You're at those tables. You're talking to these people. They're coming to you as somebody that brings health to them. Have you learned philosophically anything about health that makes you stronger, healthier?
Yeah, the thing I learned about health is that health is the challenge to keep death at a respectable distance, right? So you better take care of what you put in your body. So I've lost a lot of weight because I don't have access to fast food like we did in the US. So I've improved my diet, right? And then I've learned that you can't take your health for granted, right? Because you have people here who can't afford, the basics to get, a blood pressure screen or something like that. So philosophically, the biggest thing is that maintaining your health is what helps keep death at a respectable distance for me, right? Mm-hmm. Because I'm in a country where you don't have readily access to quality care. So you have to be more cognizant of how you're treating yourself.
Mm-hmm. And the main components, you already talked about it, right? Diet. You just have, having fresh, fresh kind of plant-based food, right?
Yeah.
Walking, because people just don't have that many cars, right? What else is kind of, I don't want to say, it's primal health. It's the kind of health that we know in the blue zones of the world where people regularly and normally live to 100+ years that they do. Fresh plant-based food, walking as exercise, living in close-knit And in Ghana and Africa, close-knit tribes, right?
Yeah.
Community.
Yep.
Um,
And being one with nature, right? Like you're not as busy. I don't have as much anxiety here, right? I mean, you're working and you're being productive, but you're not busy. You're not doing busy work, right? And you have time to, commune with your fellow human beings, and like all of those simple things, like they do something to the body spiritually, right? Emotionally, all of those things encompass, I think, quality health care, right? And then because it's so hot in Africa, I drink more water, right? I don't drink as much water, so I'm very hydrated.
That's really cool. I mean, that right there is important to stop. You talked about fresh plant-based food, walking as exercise, living in close-knit tribes, communities, families, being one with nature, not wasting time on nonsense. Like today, I spent literally 40 minutes trying to do a car payment with an automated system, and it was one of the most unhealthy experiences ever. Buttons on my phone. I guess my phone wasn't working right. It took me 40 minutes, right? It was just insanity. And then what I really loved is being human, being spiritual, connecting to people. We all have heard that that's the way we're supposed to be in the United States, but we're so far from that. So there you are in a country that doesn't have the right sick care infrastructure, right? For when you have a stroke or you have an acute or even chronic condition, but at the same time there is surrounding environment that if you can get that right in Ghana and on the continent, it'll be one of the best healthcare systems in the world, really.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so you already answered my question that I ask everybody towards the end of the show, which is, I once thought health was blank, and now I think it's blank. But I'm going to make you do it again, so I can really savor it, Marvin. I
Okay.
once thought that health was what, but now I know blank.
I once thought health was found in a pill bottle, but now I know that it's found from the roots of a tree, right? Organic,
Wow.
natural, medicine from the earth, right? God gave us everything we need here to heal our bodies. And, I thought that the Western medicine system was all that there was, but I've learned that, you would really connect to, better health by, tapping into a green, grassy, you know, organic lifestyle. And that's what I'm doing more of. And,
And it's funny, as you were saying that, one of our listeners, Casey, said the nutrients in soil is better there, the pace of life. This is the definition of holistic healing. It's very, very cool. I know you have some travel plans to bring groups to Ghana to see what you're doing. And please keep us informed. We'll definitely promote it on Rethink Your Health. What do you wish more healthcare people knew about your work in Ghana and about Ghana in general?
well, what I wish more healthcare people in the US knew about what I'm doing in Ghana and just Ghana as well is that, there's tons of diasporans that are here wanting US based skilled health workers to provide them with care, right? And that they don't have to limit themselves to running a healthcare business in the US. Like we're in a global economy now, right? You have telehealth so that they could spread their knowledge and their skill sets internationally because there's a group of people here that need, that quality level of care. But also that they could come to the continent, still connect and make revenue from the US and then do what they love to do. It's the reason why we call our company Daycare, right? People see it, they think daycare for children, but no, daycare is a play on the words they care. People who work in the healthcare field are natural empaths, right? They feel people's pain and they want to make it better. So that's why I call the company Daycare, right? Health, because the people who go into this field genuinely care about people. And I want them to come and help the people from the diaspora that's here, and then the local Africans who want to reskill and uptool their knowledge in the healthcare space, that they're looking for us to come here and share the knowledge base.
Okay, I'm having a hard time with my computer, but this picture is so wonderful. I'm going to try to get to it. So what has happened to you personally? You lost weight, your skin looks great. You have probably one of the most optimistic outlooks, right? That I have ever, ever, ever witnessed. So tell us a little bit more about your transformation over the past 4 years.
Well, I read this book called The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. She was a metaphysician, right? And what I learned is that we go in the direction that we face, right? And you attract to you the way that you think. So I just started changing my outlook on life and being more positive, focused. And so I came to Ghana. I never wanted to get married. I found me an amazing African woman to be my wife.
There she is.
So, yeah, that's my queen right there. So I got married, and I feel like a king living in Africa, the king that I always knew that I was. And, being able to do that, I have a beautiful daughter. I get to go into the community and, connect with the young people. So, I mean, my life, everything that America took from me, Africa gave back to me. I said that and I'm creating employment. Like, I'm employing all of these young Africans, teaching them skills. They're working in my business. So, I think that I'm blessed because I'm creating opportunities for people, and I just love it.
Let me get back to you here. I'm just so touched to know you, and I look forward to come. Oh, look, Cassie, look at this. We got to put this up. Casey, I speak to you tomorrow. We are coming. I'll do virtual wellness visits until I get there. Wow. And you have a beautiful wife. And it's just an amazing transformation from a point where your own life was low and your health was depleted and life did not seem that valuable to a place where you can say, hey, Tanya, I once thought that health was in a pill bottle. But now I know it's at the roots of a tree, that it's in the air we breathe. It's in slowing down the pace of life. My God, Marvin, there's a whole book in you, and you're just so charismatic and so energetic. I'm always pleased to work with you. I'm going to put one last thing here, and that's daycaretransport.com. So this is the website for people to understand the model, to take a look at the model. And Marvin, your email is Marvin is it day?
No, it's Marvin.Walker at daycaretransport.com.
Marvin.Walker.
Yeah.
At daycare, sorry, I should have had this up already, but that's okay. Transport.com. There it is. And, Marvin would be great to connect with if you have ideas about, being involved here in the United States with innovation in both medical transportation and home health, as well as chronic case management. As well as how does this all bridge over to Africa? How do we provide, and that's a beautiful thing that Casey talked about, how do you do virtual wellness visits and how do we get paid for those, and there's options and models that I know you're working on. So very, very exciting. Marvin, I can't tell you how blessed I was to be able to speak to you tonight, to know that the work you're doing grew from such chasing money into chasing really a better way of life and health for thousands, if not millions of people, both here in the United States, as well as in the African diaspora. God bless you. Ashe, ashe. And yeah.
Well, wait, I want to say one thing. Thank you so much, Tanya, for, this opportunity and for, sharing the blessings and the things that are happening for me. Like, it wasn't easy. It was rough, but, I was persistent. I was resilient. Like, Casey had pointed out. But, I want people to really give Africa a really good look. And, to do so, I want them to visit my YouTube channel and see the work that we're doing, right? Like,
and what is that YouTube channel?
It's called My International Life. And then if they just put Marvin Walker next to that, it'll come up and they'll see it. And that's the video. I created that show so that I can show the improvement that is happening in healthcare on the continent and all of our healthcare partners. The mayor of Senegal, they're bringing me to Senegal, and we're bringing the daycare health to Senegal for those individuals there from the diaspora as well as the local community. So we'll be there from November 9th till the 17th. And, so whether you come to Ghana, you go to Senegal, you go to Kenya or Tanzania, we're in several African markets now. And you can rest assured that if you check out the continent, that you will have access to quality care in those markets.
It's such a beautiful vision, and it's coming true. That's even better. Listen to everyone who has joined us. This will be up on all streaming podcast channels. We are housed at Buzzsprout, but we're on iHeartRadio. So go grab it there, share it. It's infectious to talk to Marvin. So please re-listen to the broadcast and share it on your social media platforms as well. Take care, everyone. Have a beautiful, beautiful
All right.
evening.
Thank
Good
you,
rest
everyone.
and
Thank you,
sleep.
Tanya.
Talk to you again soon, Marvin. Take care now.
Okay.
Bye-bye.